it's time for game number 2 here in the joinDOTA League. This is Division 2, AG versus Pandawa.5, two Indonesian teams. Like, we rarely cast Indonesian teams, but it's nice to see the scene growing there as well. And yep, AG took game number 1, which was actually unexpected because in early game everything pointed out in the direction of Pandawa.5. They had nice rotation, the supports being absolutely successful, but I have to say everything came down to the Luna not having any farm whatsoever, and in the end, yep, AG just keeping up a decent farm on all of their heroes, and yep, just took the win quite convincingly, especially after the Tidehunter had the Blink Dagger super initiation in the last fight, ended up in a team fight for Pandawa.5, and yep, let's see if in game 2 they can turn it around.
Yeah, we'll have to see. It just came down to the team fights after it left the early stage. And in these team fights, AG-Arvore, they just absolutely reigned supreme. They had the big wombo combos with the Ancient Aberration, the Tidehunter, and the Dark Seer. All of them just, you know, when you bring them all together, it's just so much damage. And then you have the two heavy right-clickers behind that, the Ember Spirit and the Luna creating havoc and a little bit of extra AoE of their own. It's just, you know, hard to deal with. And yeah, like you mentioned, Heflatv, the Luna didn't get a lot of farm. It was really weird because they left the Luna up the farm alone against an offensive tri-lane after they got first blood. I think they thought, okay, we got first blood, we can leave our carry alone. That's not really how it works. And I mean, we saw the Luna just get dunked on time after time, and she ended up, I don't even know if she got her BKB by the end of the game, which was only around 30 minutes.
Yep, I think she got it like at the very end. If not, then she was just a couple short, but it didn't even matter. Like, even with the BKB, that was just not enough. The wombo combo in the end, like, they definitely had the mid-racks there, and the game would have been done in the next 10 minutes if AG would have just pushed on. But yeah, I think the GG was absolutely the right call there. Like, you can't win a game where your main core is somewhere in between the net worth of the enemy's support, and their cores are just like 10k ahead. This is just something you can't go for. It's really sad, and to be honest, I don't know why the Luna ended up so low in farm. I mean, she... I don't even know. Like, I tried to find an explanation. I mean, she got ganked, okay, a couple times, but she had the option even of going in the jungle, and I don't know, she was like so far behind. I don't know if this comes from the player or not, but yeah, I don't think we will solve this mystery. Fact is, so far we have the first ban rotation coming out. It's Doom, Nyx, okay, and the Ember Spirit and Batrider coming out. That leaves so many popular heroes of the current meta still there for the picks, and yeah, we see Ancient Aberration coming out as well as the Invoker here for Pandawa.5. So Lycan would be still an option, but we saw in the last game both teams were not interested in the Lycan, which is a surprise.
Yeah, they really just ignored the Lycan. They said, we don't really care. And even looking at just the styles of the teams, it was definitely less on the rat end of compositions for the heroes and more on, I guess, like ganking or fighting and such. I think AG-Arvore were all about the team fight, and then in Pandawa they were a little bit more about the ganking. That's you know, once it comes to the later stages, of course, the ganks kind of it's less of that and more of the team fights. But moving into the first few heroes picked up on both ends, we do have a first pick Invoker from Pandawa, and I believe he was banned out pretty early on in the last draft, so not a huge surprise to see him get picked up. And they say, you know, we really like Dazzle, we're going to go ahead and pick him up again. It really felt, though, like the Shallow Grave, it just doesn't do as much against an Ancient Aberration. You mean, if the hero's in that threshold, you're probably still going to die, and you can't heal him up with the Shadow Weave as well under the Ice Blast. So really, I feel like the hero's not amazing against the Ancient Aberration when it comes to the team fight scenarios.
Well, it can delay the inevitable a bit. Like, sometimes you actually see that the Shadow Grave is rescuing people, that like while the duration of the Shadow Grave is on, the Ancient Aberration debuff is running out. But like, this is here the more rare case, because Ancient Aberration, once he is on level 2 Ice Blast, maybe even Arcanum Scepter, which we didn't see last game, but still, The duration is just too long. Even the Shadow Crave won't help. I mean, they had the Shadow Demon, so you can even delay the entire thing a bit more. You can really go for Shadow Crave plus then the Disruption afterwards, so that buys you another couple seconds. But yeah, in the end, as I said, not enough, and you are right, like Ice Blast is kind of the horror for Dazzle, so I'm surprised that Pandawa is going for it. But either way, the second ban rotation is coming out. It is the Luna, okay. Well, we had a Luna on Pandawa.5, but to be honest, this is everything but a respect ban, because that Luna didn't do anything, but they just want to be sure, just ban it out, just in case this time he finds his farm. Naga goes out as well, and on the other side, okay, Pandawa.5 bans out the Darkseer. Darkseer had quite an impact last game. He found a lot of farm, and in the end also his walls were in place. And he actually had 2 nice walls in that game. Like, one was where he pretty much got 3 kills on his own, rescuing the day there. The second one, of course, the huge wall after the Ravage. There he got 3 or 4 heroes. So yeah, it ended in a team wipe for Pandawa.5. And Sand King is coming out. Well, Sand King, overall, always a good ban. You don't have to deal with Burrow Strike. You don't have to deal with Epicenter, which is a lot of AoE damage. And yep. Looks decent so far to me. The third bans are coming out now. Third picks.
Yeah, I can totally understand Pandawa's third and fourth ban. It's just they want to remove the AoE out of the equation. I'm pretty sure that the last game is pretty darn fresh in their minds, where they felt like things were going good and it was turned around. So both of those heroes have a lot of AoE and teamfight potential. Not surprised to see them banned out. Meanwhile, as far as the next few picks go, we do have the Shadow Shaman being ended on Pandawa's side, so they're going to get a lot of hard lockdown with the Shackles, with the Hex, and a bit of push power as well from those Serpent Wards. So I do like that in conjunction with the Dazzle as far as those supports go. But AG-Arvore, they're pretty much showing their entire lineup with the Mirana and the Lifestealer. I have a feeling, Heflatv, that this Lifestealer will try to get a 1v1 scenario, and the Mirana will go into that offensive trialing kind of setup, considering we still have the Shadow Demon and the Bane available to pick up on AG-Arvore's end.
Yep. Like, when I actually look at it, Lifestealer getting through after the puck, this is actually quite a mistake. But then again, I have to say, like, if this was like a UE, oh my god, I should go back to sleep actually, EU or CIS game, then the Lifestealer would not be picked, because he's so unpopular for whatever reason. He's pretty strong, especially if you have a puck or if you have a Storm Spirit, because of the Infest Bomb. But like, all the teams in the pro scene, which you usually see here on our channels, they're like, yeah, going away from the Lifestealer. But here, these 2 Indonesian teams, they picked the Lifestealer, and I'm actually looking forward how this works out, because Infest Bomb, so strong, in my opinion. Plus, you can fish with the Ice Blast before. And wow, okay, that's a support Meepo. That's
support Meepo.
Yep, where's No-Tail? This is the Indonesian No-Tail we watch here.
Oh man. Well, I suppose that's the net's a good setup if you can land it for the Mirana arrow. This is really cool. Well, I'm not sure exactly how they're going to land this if they still want to go the offensive route, because the Meeple does need levels at the end of the day. But regardless, it's going to be really fun, and you know, Meepo provides a lot of AoE with the Poof, and there's a little bit of AoE from Infest. There's actually AoE from every hero on AG-Arvore. Once again, they're going to have kind of like this lineup that is actually really strong in the team fighting stages, but definitely does not look to be the strongest early on.
Yeah, but like, we haven't even talked about Pandawa's 2 picks. Like, with the Shadow Shaman, of course, there comes the Master Weapon Wards and a quite nice set of CC spells in the direction of AG, and the Lycan. We talked about it. First game he absolutely got ignored in picks and bans. This time he comes out as a 4th pick, so there's even more pushing potential. And if this is Exort Invoker, then we have also the Forge Spirits doing quite something. I like the Meepo pick. I mean, not just because it's Meepo, I like it also against the Lycan, because against Lycan you need spells to lock him in place. He's immune to any slows whatsoever. That means you need Arrow, you need Dreamcoil, or the Nets by Meepo, and the Nets by Meepo actually secure a Lycan being held in place for all the duration, and then the Lifestealer can just chew through him, or of course Puck and Mirana with the magic damage, Ice Blast on top of it. So to be honest, AG, AG's draft is looking nice, to be honest. But Pandawa, they have a lot of pushing potential, and with all the towers early on in their direction, if they get it through, then yeah, they might actually have the net worth to be, yeah. I don't know. I'm thinking about it, but yeah, they should be. They should have a gold advantage if they get it through. So AG has to really care that their cores are getting the farm.
Yeah, that's true. I just Pandawa, I think they're just going straight up rat at this point based on the heroes they have. They're looking for an offlaner to kind of help round up their lineup. And Centaur was the last ban. I do like that ban as far as they go. I think that could have definitely been nice for their lineup.
Yep.
It's going to be a Clinks. All
Yes.
right.
So more tower damage, more red potential coming in. And that's pretty nice because now with the Clinks, that forces also AG in buying a lot of vision or counter vision true sight, as in sentries have to come out and dust has to come out. Plus the Lycan needs a lot of lockdown. So they're gonna be really busy with those heroes, getting them ganked. So let's see how this works out. It's pretty much a solid draft with a lot of lockdown against a draft that is aiming for either red Dota or a heavy pushing lineup. And to be honest, even the Clinks is a nice pickup because if you get Lifestealer orchided up before he's raging, etc., then he's also a pretty easy kill. Coming not with too much base armor and everything. If you catch him, for example, in the jungle somewhere, the orchid on top of him, and then you can just fire arrow him down easily. So I actually like the draft of Pandawa.5. Let's see how they get it through. It really all depends how much level they get. It's not even about the gold, it's about the early levels, because then the gold will come more likely their way anyway, because of the tier 1 towers being victim to Master Open Wards, then the Lycan and the Clinks. Either way, we introduce the teams a second time now for all those who joined later here. We got quite some viewers now. I hope some people are interested in Indonesian Dota. This is the first time we cast them as well anyway. So yeah, the first game was quite promising, a lot of action going on, so not disappointing, I have to say. Anyway, DGT is now playing here on the Meepo. We have Panda in the mid on the park. Mirana is played by RCK, and yep, the two last heading towards the safe lane is Midas on the Lifestealer with, by the way, a very nice looking set, I have to say. This Ravenous Fiend is an awesome set. I pointed that out quite often, but yeah, as I said, we don't see the Lifestealer that often anymore. And Popo-Arv is playing the Ancient Apparition.
Yeah, and I think that they initially wanted to do an offensive trialing, but Lifestealer would just get torn apart by this Clinks because, you know, the searing arrows, the physical damage, they'll go right through that rage. Doesn't matter. So I do like that this Ancient Apparition is nearby, and we will have Meepo getting some levels in the jungle. I guess let me go ahead and introduce P5 before the game gets underway. We have Kai on the Invoker. And the Shadow Shaman will be, I guess, a stand-in, a bow. And then moving to that offlane Clinks, who is currently skeleton walked up, it's Radiska Evren. And then moving over to the Dazzle, who just picked up the Illusion Rune, it's Kongen. And finally, it's Lycan, aka Sugar. And he'll be... Sugar. He'll be handling the safe lane.
Oh, honey, honey. Okay, never mind. Me singing is not a good idea, but that just popped in my mind when I read Sugar.
You lost me, man. You totally lost me with that
Really,
one.
this is an awesome 60s song. Oh, I'm gonna play it after the cast. Either way, the creep waves Matt here in the mid. We already have the first CS coming out, and yep, the setup in the mid. What do you predict? Invoker versus Park? It's an Exort Invoker, most likely.
I think it just comes down to skill at the end of the day. I guess when the Forged Spirits come out, Invoker will have a bit of an easier time. So maybe I'll give him a bit of an edge there.
Then Invoker is always my vote. Of course it comes down to skill, but assuming the mid laners always have like a similar skill, since they have to be one of the best players in a team. Puck having, of course, a harder time. It really comes down to his phase shift timing. But either way, let's see how this goes. In the mid so far, it's definitely equal. And yeah, this Clinks here, at the moment it's all about soaking some XP off wherever he can find the XP. The small camp is warded, so there won't be any crazy stacks. Meepo is at the moment the one farming them up, trying to get level 2. but he's also missing quite some last hits now, even on the small cam. So that's not optimal, of course. You need everything you can get.
Well, that's not what you want to look at or look for in an Meepo player. You expect them to be mechanically sound because they kind of will be controlling up the 5 heroes in the game. So I hope that's just a little bit of bad luck early on. I'd also noticed the ward, the Sentry ward from AG-Arvore early on. This Klinks is going to be playing this just very safe, and it kind of sucks that he won't get much farm either. A Klinks without farm is just simply not scary, and they're going to go ahead and turn around on him. There's the Chilling Touch. They have a net on him as well, but do they have the damage to finish him off? Yes, they do. First Blood going the way of Ancient Apparition, and Klinks will not have a good time in this lane. It's just, it's all downhill from here.
Pretty much. He has to get a D ward there for sure, but even with a D ward, Ancient Apparition should have a second one. No, actually, where's the other sentry and what did it end up? I'm trying to find a second sentry.
Me too. Oh, it's on the Mirana.
Oh, that's the Mirana actually got it for a D ward, but so far she didn't attempt it. But yep, I mean, it's looking quite okay. Here in the mid, as I said, like Panda losing quite a lot of HP. He doesn't have his bottle yet, but it will come out either by the next CS or the gold tick-ups. And as I said, this Klinks, the only thing he can do by now is really look forward to, I don't know, grab some XP wherever he can, and then at least with a level 5, level 6, we're gonna maybe see him rotating in the jungle, farming there with his ultimate and soaring. That would be one option.
Yeah, it kind of sucks though, like the Mirana, even though she's getting about as much experience and last hits as the Klinks in her off lane, she can still contribute to the team fights with her Sacred Arrow, with a little bit of AoE, Moonlight Shadow, even the leap bonus to the allies. But Klinks, I mean, his job is damage and, you know, the occasional gank. Without farm, he can't really do that too well, and that's my concern for P5, I suppose.
He needs level the most because his main damage source, even without items. Oh, but here in the mid, I think Meepo is coming in, and the arrow does it connect. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they get the net, and Puck as well, moving in. There's the... Oh, Meepo, one more hit! Oh, he's fine.
Yeah,
he's able to poof
but
away.
Oh my god, he poofed in again, and no, the tower hit actually goes on the second Meepo, and the Forge Spirit doesn't finish him off. So Meepo, Jesus Christ, playing on the edge. This is a ballsy Meepo, I have to say. And now here on top, Klinks trying to get something up, but there is, as I said, there is no sentry ward. But we see already Popo Arv here on the Ancient Apparition. He has a dust in his inventory. This will come pretty much soon after the puck has his bottle refreshed, and well, then with the dust, he's even more in danger. Fact is, AG has now 2 kills. We're 4 minutes in so far. It's been quite passive, and I think has to be the one with the plays, with the farm, and of course the Invoker. But Invoker, again, Meepo behind him, level 4 now.
Yeah. Alright, there's the Illusionary Orb coming out. Puck also using the Dream Coil and trying to just escape. Now comes the second Meepo, a second net as well. And the poof to finish the job. Meepo, looks like he nets himself a kill. Yep. And they are just severely dominating the mid lane now.
Yeah, it was also a nice bait. Like Panda going in there, and Invoker was like, okay, you go on me, I got Cold Snap. And then with that Cold Snap, even Panda went super low, but phase shift out, escaping the entire demise there of the mid. And Meepo from behind just, yeah, taking off the residual HP there by the Invoker. But now in mid, they have a shackle on the Meepo.
Oh, I don't think he's going to escape this. Oh, maybe he is. He's running away. There's just no follow-up as well. And Meepo getting a little bit too aggressive here. There's another poop. But, oh, the other shock. They have enough DPS to finish the job. And Puck now, this is the one that has to be careful. On under half health, using
Shallow Crave
charges.
The Shallow Crave really made the day, pretty much.
I think that Meepo kind of... he shouldn't have done that. That was just a little bit too overzealous. Even Puck being quite aggressive in this middle lane, especially with this Dazzle nearby. You will have to be quite careful.
Yep, and now we have Meepo rotating bottom. And the question is, does he find a support? At the moment, the supports are around the mid lane. And the Klinks, well, the Klinks is doing quite fine at the moment. He's level 5, but now they want to go on him. There is a dust and a slow, but... wow.
They kill him! They actually kill him! 3 points in the Searing Arrows, as well as 2 in the Skeleton Walk. I was not expecting that.
Nope, Naix wasn't expecting that either. He wanted to go for the infest on a creep, come out with the burst damage of course, plus healing himself up, but he got the third arrow in his face just a split second before he wanted to infest. I already saw it, like he was trying to get the infest up, the animation was already there, but yep, not enough. So Naix going down, that's exactly what I said. The Naix is a hero that needs quite some setup, but I think they want a revenge on that Klings, do they? I mean, they have Dust on cooldown 15 seconds, but they could get him anytime. He would have even died there, but the Naix misplay, that was just too bad.
Well, still a few seconds left on the Ancient Apparitions, the Dust of Appearance. They just force out a Skeleton Walk from the look of things, so he'll be a-okay. Meanwhile, bottom lane, this is where some action could potentially happen. We have Shadow Demon and Puck. They're basically right on the opposite sides of the trees. Alright, there's the orb, and they're going to get the Lycan stuck in the tree coil. He'll be kept alive, Grave, and now moves into that ultimate as well, shapeshifting to keep himself alive.
Nicely baited, absolutely nicely baited. But now here, Klings on top, going on the Ancient Apparition. Look at that damage. Like, that's like a fifth of his HP going down by one of those searing arrows. And now they are also level 4. So yeah, we were talking about the Klings not getting anything, but now he recovered pretty much from this bad start, and P5 taking the lead in kills. Absolutely unexpected, because again, we had the same picture just the other way around. Like, P5 was starting amazingly in early game. Oh my god, and Meepo now.
Oh, double damage, Meepo. I think Meepo's just dead. Like, as soon as he goes after these camps, goodbye, see you later, Meepo.
Oh my god, the damage, searing arrows. This is just sick. And now he can just go Ghost Walk. He has this
He's gonna go on mid lane. He's moving to mid lane. Yep, he's already starting the damage down that Puck. Look at that. Low health. He's able to illusionary over where the arrow misses. If the arrow hit, Klings I think would have not survived.
Yep.
Didn't have a lot of mana, but at least the Puck survives on ARV's end.
Well, it would have been a close call, because the Shallow Crave was directly behind him, but that arrow would have been a very long range arrow. But either way, I mean, the Klings is happy. He's level 8 now. Like, compare this to the Naix, he's level 7. So the offlane Klings with a bad start, feeding the first blood, now being suddenly with the mid heroes on level 8. Just look at level 8 at the moment. We have Invoker, Klings. What did I just say? I look at the level 8s, but yeah, no, I'm looking at the hero levels, and they're all level 8. The mid heroes as well as the Klings, and now the Naix as well. So yep, they pretty much equalized it. And 5-3. P5 again, a nice early game. Let's see if they bring it through, because last game they somehow crumbled when it came into mid game, etc.
I still have to favor AG-Arvore's lineup for the team fights, just because of all that like potential like burst damage in the AoE that's going to happen. If they can survive that, they'll be fine. It's just key if can they. And also this Meepo, even though he did die, he's still doing decent on levels. He's up to level 7. A little disappointed that besides the initial ganks, he hasn't accomplished too much. And, ooh, Lifestealer. He's going to go onto the Klings, but Klings doesn't care. Okay, there's the net, and a poof as well. Another net to follow it up. Klings, can he do the damage in time? No. Lifestealer gets the infest off, and Meepo, I don't think he's going to live.
He is down.
See you later, Meepo. You're dead. Dazzle, he's the one in trouble. We'll have to use the Shallow Grave on himself. Also throws out a heal, but there's 2 members nearby. The Puck has haste, and there's no escape.
Yep, so in the end this was a free for 1 Meepo going down. Well, there we go. AG just saying hello and back. To be honest, I think, was this a level? Yeah, this was only level 1 Shaco. I was wondering about the short duration, but he decided to go for the other shock build on the Shadow Shaman. Well, he's also only level 5. I guess with the Master Open wards there in place, they might have not dived the Dazzle there. But yeah, he was barely level 5. He was really just 1 or 2 creeps away from a level 6. This is too bad. The timing of it is at least bad.
Yeah, well, taking a quick look down at Lycan. He's up to 68 last hits. He's already picked up the Medallion as well as Vladimir's. I mean, Rosh, if he gets the space, he can easily go into the pit and get the job done. So we do have one of these little Meepos heading to the bottom lane. I also want to point out that there's just under 2,000 gold for Meepo, so he will have his Blink Dagger soon to really start doing some real initiating on their end.
But he has to be careful though, like, because going for Tranquil Boots, Blink Dagger, sure you get your initiation, but you suddenly find your way after the poof. you might as well just go down because, as I said, there is an Exort Invoker probably waiting for you with a Meteor. There is Klings doing damage. There is Lycan who won't just instantly die. There's Shock Burst. So this is a lot of damage coming his way.
Oh,
And
Meepo. He's dead again in the jungle. He was caught out by the Clinks
oh, a
and
miss!
Dazzle.
This was a miss!
Oh, wait. That was a miss, and the Moonlight Shadow may actually keep him alive. The Poison Judge won't be able to finish off Meepo. I
Yep.
thought he was so dead.
No,
But I
the
think-
uphill miss.
Yeah, the uphill miss definitely kept him alive. Oh, well, in the jungle, though, or just outside the jungle on the Radiant and the Sunstrike, it's dodged down with the Serpent Wards. And the Dream Coil doesn't really accomplish too much. We have a 1-for-1 so far. And I think that's all that will die there. But mid lane, more action is happening. We have the Lifestealers raged up, trying to kill off Dazzle. Infests into a creep. Instead, wants the stay at least somewhat healthy. He's down to half health.
Too bad. The Invoker actually ruined there. You know why? Because he tried to Midas a creep to get the Naix out of it, but he unfortunately didn't hit the right creep there, so Naix secure in the enemy's creep. But either way, it was a 1-for-1 trade, and to be honest, a Shadow Shaman versus a Mirana, a trade I would do any day. So in the end, P5 having here a small advantage in my opinion.
Yeah, it's still really close though. I feel definitely it's feeling closer in the early to mid stages at this point, more so than last game, because this is around the time where I feel like AG-Arvore really started getting out of control. I'm also keeping an eye on this Clinks. There's a lot of members top, but they just don't have the sentries around the area to keep an eye on the Clinks.
The problem with the Klings at the moment is he's not rushing Orchid. Maybe it's the next step, but then again for Orchid it's also a bit late, considering he needs quite some time. He will scout out now the Puck, but the problem is a Puck, a Lifestealer, that would be so easy kills with the Orchid, but he's so far away from that Orchid. That's the
Meanwhile,
biggest
top
problem.
lane, they get some nets on after the blink onto the Lycan and get a kill on him.
Yep.
And I think Clinks, one more hit and he can kill off the Ancient Apparition. Very nice juking. Dream Coil as well to kind of lock this Clinks into place, but the uphill damage, it's enough. They get him. Clinks, though, he has no mana. The most he can try to do is deny himself. He's going to use a Stalv instead. And the net misses, and he has just enough mana for the Skeleton Orb. The orb! Oh, the orb, so
He actually
close.
oh my god, the Waning Rift.
Very
just
nice, though.
Random Raining Rift. Oh my god, you just got the kill there.
It was a shot in the dark, but it was able to get the job done. And
nice
meanwhile,
to the-
top lane, Shadow Shaman, he's in a lot of trouble. One more right click. Oh, Dazzle comes in at the perfect time with the Shallow Grave. And the Infest, he's going to go out of it as well. Now Sheep, the Invoker, has joined the fun. Sunstrike will sit stuck in the shackles.
Yeah, Ice Blast.
But Ice
Boom.
Blast finishes off the Shaman. And Dazzle, he'll be A-okay.
Yep, but again, mistiming of the Lifestealer, like he did come out of this creep before the Shadow Grave ended, and with that he was just again, like it's the second time his infest damage is by the way off. We had the first time already where he died to the Klings, which gave the Klings pretty much like the start of a nice, I wouldn't call it snowball, but like recovery. Oh, Meepo on
Oh,
a
meanwhile-
top here.
Yeah, that's another kill.
Easy skill of his life, I'd say.
I mean, Meepos plus Chilling Touch, it's just like you have so much damage. You have the initiation with Blink, you can lock him down in place. It's got to be fun to play the Meepo with an Ancient Apparition on your team.
Yeah, and I actually like the idea of AG here, like starting off with a support Meepo and that like plus minus some kills, which he got, especially in the mid, and then starting to transition into actually getting quite a nuisance also damage wise. But I mean, Lynx is starting now doing quite some heavy damage here on the tier 1 tower. So far the cliff is not coming out, but as I say, the cliff is actually coming out and tier 1 tower is going down for P5 here. So Lycan also, I wanted to see Lycan having more push presence, but so far he's just interested in farming. The smoke we saw, oh here
Nope.
Meepo going on
Another Meepo initiation, and Lycan, I'm sorry, it doesn't matter if you have Shapeshift. You can't get out of those nets.
Yep, that's exactly what I said in the draft. Like the Meepo against the Lycan is an insane good pickup. Like if you think about it, because really you can't slow the Lycan, and even just a single stun on Lycan is mostly not enough because he will just run away after the stun. But like with those nets spammed out on him, it's just no way. He can't go anywhere.
Yeah, and I feel like the weakness of Meepo is you need to get some farm with him early on, but AG-Arvore, they actually gave him, a decent amount of space. The Meepo was stacking up a good amount of farms and using that poof damage to, get good farm early on. It was just enough. He got his Blink Dagger, and now he's in an amazing position. But Invoker does get the mid-tier 1 tower.
Yep, and saying that, I'm gonna show the crafts, by the way. It's about time. We have like 70 minutes, but the puck actually going here for the
going in. And yeah, Dazzle doesn't even need to use the Grave. Ancient Apparition, a little bit off the mark, but still grazes past the Clinks. And this is actually could be very bad for this puck. He's going to use the Dream Coil, and actually Dazzle low on health. He will be forced to use Shallow Grave. Now he blinks away as well, and comes a lifesteal. He's raged, but I mean, still taking full damage from the Clinks. Sheeped up now, and I'm just not impressed.
Yeah.
Not impressed with them.
Oh, but bottom lane here.
More damage. It looks like the Nets. They're not able to get onto the Lycan, so he does manage to run away.
Yep, and all this action gun. Now I show finally my crafts. Jesus Christ, here 5,000 XP lead for AG, and gold-wise, well, we are somehow, yep, still in the same range there, about 5,000, but it's going downhill again. So now Meepo here, going for a second attempt, but this time the net also doesn't hit. Now more nets, and this one actually hits. And the ice blast.
A follow-up as well. They don't even need the blast to finish the kill. They do need to kill off those wolves though, and I guess
this Meepo
that's
is
a mech
persistent.
on them, though. He's actually doing pretty good. I'm enjoying the Meepo plays.
Yep,
and
definitely.
we'll see. All right, these two guys, they're gonna poof away, I believe. I like that the wolves are still trying to be as annoying as possible and then block them, but getting hit with Shadow Poison and Shadow Touch. Weave as well doing a bit of DPS, and can they turn it around? That's the question. They get a silence on the Shadow Shaman Invoker though. With the Sunstrike, he finishes off Meepo.
Yeah, he came in, Cold Snap, Sunstrike was enough, perfectly played, and there the dominating, especially the dominating, is going the Invoker's way. And now Park under attack by the Clinks, but yeah, he can just orb out. As I said, the orb kit would be crucial. Oh no, Dream Coil on free.
Well, if it breaks on the Clinks, he's dead, but Shadow Grave there to help him out as well.
Yep, that's not enough.
They're okay.
But at the same time, in the draft, we predicted P5 being the ones that push, but look at the other lanes. Like in, I don't know, if he touched the tower already, yeah, he did some damage on the tier 1 bottom, but like overall, he's just not getting into this game. Like, was he also the Luna player last game?
I think he was. Don't quote me on that, but I believe he was.
I'm not sure, but he was the one with Luna. I mean, now his farm is definitely better. He's in net worth on the 4th position, but like when it comes to the potential of Lycan, then I just don't see it at the moment. We see a level 1 Necro coming out. No, wait, it's still not up on him. Okay, I thought it's
check out top lane. There's the orb, and they don't see Clinks. Okay, now they do, and there's the silence. Oh, perfect infest. Then I think they can finish him off. They get him.
Yep, infest bomb. First time we've seen it this game, and it was already successful. In the mid at the same time, there's the nets on the poor Invoker. Ice Blast on top of it, nothing he could have done. He does get a bit damage on the Meepo, but that's it. And yeah, there I saw the level 1 Necro. Actually, Invoker is having the level 1 Necro. Lycan still far away from it. He only got like 1,200 gold. So yeah, this tier 1 down.
On the recipe, I noticed he had the wizard staff and the belt, so he just picked up his book for the time being. But there's still a little bit of ways from full-on rat mode, I feel. They're not quite there yet, and if you look at the map, AG-Arvore, they're in basically complete control. This tier 2 at the top lane. This could be very bad. This lifestealer, he's stuck inside the wards. Puck's gonna come in and help out, gets the silence off as well as the Dream Coil. And can they finish off? Oh, the Shallow Grave, perfect timing. But I'm not sure if Dazzle will be able to get out of this one. The Meepos just surround him. They get the tower as well. Even Lifestealer survives behind this, and the Sunstrike does not hit the Lifestealer as well.
I mean, now we see Lycan actually finally doing something, but there's the cliff coming out for the tier 1 tower, and Nyx is there. I mean, Nyx alone can't do anything against the Lycan. Now Puck coming in as well, but he can just shapeshift out of it. The tower in the end getting denied. This is the second tier 1 tower that's going down. The first one went to Invoker, the second one now denied, but still P5 are the ones that should have the towers, but in fact AG, they just going forward and forward. Did both tier 2s is the only thing that separates them from going high ground. But here in the mid, Meepo going on the Clinks.
Yeah, they got the dust, And the Sunstrike will hit, but it's going to hit on all three Meepos. It does not do a lot of damage. Shadow Shaman throws out some shackles and a little bit of another shock, but the Meepos still are A-okay as far as health comes. In comes the Mirana, nice Starstorm. Invoker comes from behind though, gets a bit of a revenge, finishes off Mirana, and it's a 1-for-1 so far, but well, things, it's not over quite yet as the Shadow Shaman, he's hit by open wounds, will be kept alive from the Shallow Grave for the time being. Now there's a sheep on one of the Meepos, but they do end up killing the Shadow Shaman, so he's dead. Sunstrike will miss once again. They get the Meepo.
Yeah,
so 3 for
Meepo
2.
and the Lifestealer, that's actually a surprise. That was a bit greedy there. The Ice Blast didn't come out. He's almost level 11. With the next creep, he will be having a level 2 Ice Blast, but still, I think AG just threw a lot of value here away by going in there with the Lifestealer. I mean, the Lifestealer overall, not his game, not his day, I'd say. But now we have a Puck here invisible and he's gonna find the Lycan. But I don't think he has enough damage, not alone. But the Ice Blast is flying, but he's leaving the camp. That was, of course, unfortunate timing. You have to wait till he goes for another camp instead of, you know, going for your Ice Blast on a camp that is already dead. Of course he's going back, and therefore this invisibility rune is not going to bring anything towards AG here.
I also noticed that the Puck, he did not go for like the aggressive Dagon build. He just went for a Yule Scepter. So, you know, not a lot of kill potential on him. He's just there for the initiation. Disable. Moving over into the Roshan pit.
Yeah,
we do have the Meepos are going to town. I'm surprised Lycan didn't get in here a bit earlier, but
well,
really
they tried once.
They
like
just there hasn't been a lot of room for them. That's another thing to point out.
I mean, they tried once with the smoke where they traded Mirana for the Shadow Shaman. I mean, the fight was around the bottom rune, but like I think the smoke was supposed to be getting into the Rosh pit, but they got caught out before. So yeah, P5 with the Lycan, not the ones that get the Roshan. Also this Roshan pretty late. I mean, usually you see a Roshan the first time attempt if you dominate, which AG was at a certain point, of course, like, I don't know, 15-16 minutes minimum. But now we see Lycan here, he parks his Necro units plus the Wolves on the tower. There's no cliff, I think, yeah. Those Necro units will definitely get it. Lycan is getting the last hit sooner or later. Yeah, there it comes. Now he can just go back. And now Infest Bomb here in the
mid lane. Yeah, this Puck should get a pretty easy kill. There's the the combo, the Wombo combo. Clinks being kept alive thanks to the Shallow Grave. Once again, I feel like this Dazzle's been doing a lot more work this time around. It's certainly been much more successful for P5 to keep their guys alive.
Yeah, I mean, it was a nice attempt there going for the Infest Bomb, but it was too close to the tier 2. But here Meepo might be caught out. This is also the main Meepo, so if you get him, then it's gonna be really squishy. But yeah, he's just getting out. Mirana still farming. We have now a Yasha on the Mirana. What's the next step? Is this really Mantas, or do we see Mjolnirs coming out? Like, I would like to see Mjolnirs, because I don't know, with all those heroes, I mean, there's a lot of Necro minions you want to kill. There is the Rasta and the Dazzle that get a lot of damage of the Chain Lightning there. It's also the Forge Spirits. I think a Mjolnirs would have been a nice choice for the Mirana, but yeah, I don't think he's going for it. This is because he saved up 2,000 gold. This is probably going to be the ultimate orb pretty soon into the Mantas.
Yeah, that's what it does look like to me as well. And we have a smoke. From the Dire side, 4 of their members are smoked while Lifesteal the DD Rune, looking to be very aggressive on the front lines. Let's see if he can manage to nab someone. Also, I want to point out, I haven't had a chance to, but look at his item choice. He's got an Haven's Halberd and then the Armlet. Well, double smoke on both ends, but okay, looks like Meepo finds a target. There's the Silence as well, arrow.
What was he doing there?
Job done.
Seriously, what was he doing there? Like, they just pinged out, like, I don't know. It was like a pinging World Championship, but still, like, in the end, he knew that the entire team was there.
The Necrominion had 16 health left. It'll just barely escape.
Yeah.
And
by the way, the experience. Did you see the experience buff on them? It's just crazy.
Huge buff.
Yeah, absolutely. We had, by the way, we casted this week, I think 2 days ago, Mineski 2 games versus, I forgot the name already, but they went for like Execration. Yeah, now it pops in my head. But yeah, it was 6 Necro books in summary.
Oh.
Now we also missed.
We missed a kill. I missed it too, dude. It's all good. Uh-oh, Shadow Shaman, he sheeps one of the meepos. What is he doing? Okay, he puts up the wards, but I think okay, well, Shallow Grave keeping him alive, and the meepos, they're going to be
Oh, the
A-okay, though.
Ice
They're
Blast!
still pretty darn tanky.
He blinks out of the Ice Blast. Very nicely done, but the Meepo is still on the hunt.
Yeah, he's looking for a kill. He may find the Lycan. Okay, oh, he just barely misses the net. The poop was so close to connecting.
Yep, but at the same time, his team is working on the tier 2 towers. He's keeping them all busy, and now the Infest
bottom lane,
on
look.
the Invoker. Bzzzt.
They get the kill there. It's just the front end damage is so fast. Unless Dazzle's there, it's basically a death. The weave is thrown down on Lifestealer. Actually hits the puck as well, so that at least will buy a little bit of time for P5. But well, check out Meepo's next item. It's the Agnem Scepter. So
Yeah,
the Meepos just got a lot stronger.
Definitely no, but I wanted to finish my thought there. So they had six necro creeps, or necro books, so that equals 12 creeps. It was insane how much experience and gold they fed away. It was just so 3 on each side, sending them forward. Like, this gold was just spiraling on both sides, and in the end, to be honest, I think it was really just the amount of necro units killed without having any effect on towers or heroes decided the game. This was such a necro war, but either way, now they wanna press the issue here and go for high ground.
Yeah, but surprisingly, Meepo isn't around. He's just pushing lanes for the time being. Oh, Puck decides to just blink out of that one quite fast. Sunstrike, I don't know what that would really accomplish. Everyone's kind of at full
harass
health.
damage. No, it's good. We see that also. There's this certain playstyle of Exort Invokers. We see that from BZZ, for example. Whenever he sees someone, he just Sunstrikes them. Just not for the sake of lasting, just harass damage.
Well, bottom lane though, all Invokery 4 steps away. All the Meepos, they're gonna get hit by the Deafening Blast Meteor combination. All of a sudden the Meepos very low on health. They're gonna try to do a little bit of poofing. The mech is thrown out as well. They're gonna get Sugar from the look of things. Down he goes to the Mirana. Meepo, the Aegis is charged and used up. Still these wards are nearby. And there's the Dust Revealing Plinks. They get the net on him as well. And it looks like they will be able to finish the job.
Yeah,
And the Meepo's like just out of the range.
This looks like
tower.
one set of racks or even the GG. At the moment, yeah, there is the GG. So P5 saying, no guys, we can't do that. Like, this Meepo started off as a support and ended up being like more dangerous than the Lifestealer. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I have to say, I wasn't terribly impressed with Lifestealer this game. There were a few times where he just kind of jumped on the random people, tried to make something happen when he should have just played it a little bit safer. It's something that's just kind of really cool to think about. If the team runs Meepo and they're kind of unknown and they're maybe like in the tier 2, it's a great hero to use because a lot of teams simply are not experienced at playing versus Meepo, and they may not know how to handle that situation.
To be honest, there is not much to handle with the Meepo anyway. Like, if a Meepo really gets fat, the only thing you have to do is, like, you have to have the entire team focusing one of the Meepos down. Otherwise, there's not much you can do. Nothing helps against the Meepo. That's the problem. You can maybe force-stuff people away, but even the force-stuff range is not enough. There will be follow-up nets if the Meepo is a good player and fast in reaction. So, in the end, a Meepo, as such, the hero, is really one of the heroes that you can't really counter. That's the problem. You have to kill him.
I think Shadow Demon would be a decent counter to Meepo. Whenever they're all about to use their poofs, or if they're stuck in the net, you can just disrupt them.
But if the fight around you like falls apart, then you still come out of the disruption, and then suddenly you find yourself still surrounded by Meepos. I mean, it's just delaying. It's not really a counter in at least in my world, but yeah. This Meepo, definitely a nice Meepo player, I have to say it. And anyway, guys, this was the last game of the day. Like, we jumped in here on a short notice. We came directly from the Gozu Cup into the JDL Division 2 because those games need some love too. And yeah, Whiplash, thanks for coming by. Thanks for casting with me. As usual, fun with you. And yep, I think we wrap it up here. And let's see, maybe in the evening we missed some games, but I don't think so. We have a pretty chilled schedule today. So I thank all the viewers for comment here on the stream. If you like what you see, what you hear, just follow us on Twitch, of course, and on our social media, Facebook, Twitter. You can, of course, follow us for the next games. You always get the notice there. And, of course, if you miss the games of your favorite team, player, or whatsoever, or maybe even you like the casters as such, then you can always check our YouTube. The information is below the stream. So, yeah, thanks for tuning in. and see ya.